Clank and Ratchet. After completing The Last of Us Part 2, I was looking for something a bit more serious and hard hitting. So that's why I went back and completed the bleakest game I could think of. Ratchet and Clank! So what is Ratchet and Clank? Well, it's a platformer, but rather than being about cute and cuddly characters collecting some stupid fucking stars and coins, this game is about murder.
It feels good to be a gangster.
And nothing says, well, this is a man's game like mindless murder. This is the 2016 remake of the original Ratchet and Clank, which I absolutely fucking loved when it actually worked and I wasn't smearing it with my spit or toothpaste to try and fix the disc.
Yes, I am a genius.
But it wasn't till the PS3 remaster I actually got around to completing it. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, and to be quite fucking honest. So, is the remake any good? Well, the story follows a similar structure to the original, but ends up coming across completely different due to how they have changed the characters' personalities to suit the movie tie-in which came along with this game, and that is possibly the worst decision they could have ever made, and that's coming from someone who bought Umbrella Corps. But I do want to look at this game more on its own specifically, as it was a long fucking time ago I actually played the original. So I'd just be pretty much referencing fragmented memories when talking about it. Cause guess what? My memory's pure shite. You play as this Bampot Ratchet who has a dream to become part of the Galactic Virgins and help save the universe from impending unwanted pregnancies. And then there's this cutie who wants to blow up some planets. And on this journey where you will travel from planet to planet, in which you will be joined with your new compadre El Clanko. And as I touched on briefly earlier, there was a fucking movie tie-in which accompanied the release of this game, which didn't go down too well. Who would have fucking guessed? But what's even worse is they straight up used the fucking movie clips for telling the story, which makes the story fall all over the place, and then when you're playing the game, the movie clips pop up, and they're so fucking jarring from going from this to this. What the fuck? Also, it probably doesn't help, the movie was shite. On top of that, the interactions with characters are so stiff and lifeless. Meeting these characters used to be a delight in the original, with amazing funny writing and actual likeable characters that weren't just pure fucking roasters with dialogue cringy enough to make you go off your head. There are some exceptions where you don't want to greet, but that's not exactly a fucking compliment. But yeah, I guess if you're not a 19-year-old bald cunt playing a kids game, it probably seems decent, but fuck off, the original's better. In short, because I know fuck all about storytelling, to be honest. I've just consumed media. I have done fuck all apart from your standard English in school and writing about movies and talking about shite like camera angles. So, in short, the story is very safe, generic, pretty boring, and it just plays into the main character wanting to do good and bad guy blow stuff up trope, because why not? Rather than characters actually having interesting and understandable motivations like they did in the original.
I mean, if you've got a history book at home, take it out, throw it in the bin. It's worthless. The history books now will have to be rewritten.
What will they say? Push for time. Can you sum it up in a word?
No.
A sound?
Ugh.
Spartacus, thank you.
Onto the shooting and shite. So what's the gameplay like? Well, you will normally land on a planet with multiple pathways to take, either leading to the main objective or holding optional extras to collect, like new weapons and massive and very impractical screws. Like, seriously? Who the fuck uses this? You traverse these worlds through some light platforming and, my personal favourite, the murder of innocent brainwashed soldiers. The enjoyment of the gameplay comes through the large amount of weapons you collect, all having unique purposes, offering their own ways to tackle situations, plus the fact they all can be upgraded, giving them extra effects or better base stats. All the weapons are pretty well balanced, and I found myself using all of them apart from this pish sniper. This is honestly the shitest sniper I've ever used. And don't just fucking tell me I can't aim. This is a kid's game. Fuck off. The weapons are definitely fun to play about with and making the murder that much sweeter. I think I may have a problem. This game fucking perfects gameplay pacing, as I never found myself getting bored, as there was always a new gadget I was playing with or a new planet to explore, with the incentive of buying new weapons or discovering new gadgets on these gorgeous looking planets. Plus, the fact the game constantly throws new enemy types and mechanics at you, keeping the gameplay fresh. Where the gameplay falters is some of the later areas, where they become so much more restrictive and boring to explore with dull environments, plus the fact that this game is 30 fucking FPS. Like, come on, the original, which came out in 2002, was 60 FPS. And what makes it even worse is the amount of motion blur this game shoves up your arse is ridiculous. It is so disappointing to see, and it really takes a while to get used to the very underwhelming performance. Yes, the game looks good if you're standing fucking still, but if they just made it look a little bit worse and ensured the 60 FPS without the abysmal motion blur, this game would have played drastically better. And also, do not get me fucking started on how they massacred my boy's soundtrack. Since there's no fucking consistency whatsoever with these videos, I'm introducing a nitpicking segment. Why the fuck do they keep calling you rookie when you're the only one actually doing shit? Why the fuck is there an option to skip these puzzles? Why the fuck is the title screen so bland? Why did they remove Big Tits McGee? Why did they massacre my boy's outfit? And yeah, there's a lot more shit, but I can't be arsed thinking anymore, so shut the fuck up. To conclude, this game still is decent. Although there are many missteps the game made retelling the original story of my boys, Ratchet and Clank, the experience is still enjoyable, but it's a shame the game is held back by the movie and poor performance, with the peaks of this game being the moments that are most faithful to the original, which still to this day stands as a better game because of the writing and non-aging gameplay, keeping it as a timeless classic. And it's decent. Oh yeah, can we all just agree that Mr. Zircon is an absolute chad? The fact they just bullies you whilst you're using them, that's fucking neat. The only thing is, just make him like start swearing and shit, just having this guy fucking flying about and being like, oh you bald cunt, stop. Oh you bald cunt, stop being shite. That would have been so much more motivational.